tell us a little bit about what happened just a couple of weeks after you have finished this conscious leadership program and you had absolute clarity in what you wanted and what you wanted to get to. What happened?
So they probably prefer someone who's already got the experience in the industry. And usually like consulting firms are a bit more open-minded and a bit more receptive for someone like me, which got a bit of a diverse background and used to run my own business. So I started to focus on networking with consulting firms specialized in change. And one of the big names in that field came in the scene, which is change the work consulting. So they've been a lot of work with big corporates such as big banks, governments, universities, and also my husband used to work with them during one of his projects. So he's like, oh, you should have a shot with those guys. So I'm really lucky to land a Zoom catch up with one of the managing directors at Change the Work. And it's more like a informational interview. I wasn't like expecting anything. I'm more like seeking her advice and getting some feedback in terms of how does she think where I sit in the market and what the gaps that I should fill in. So I told her a little bit about my career journey, which she can relate to as a seasoned entrepreneur and business owner running her own business for the last 20 years. She's like, you know what,
Shirley, must value it. Business owner can.
It's not just for you, it's pretty much for everyone. So you've actually, I can tell that you worked very hard to get you where you are, which gave me a lot of confidence and that people do recognize my skills and my experiences. Because it takes someone special to give me that recognition. I'm kind of used to people telling me, like, sorry, you don't have the experience in our industry. Sorry, this and that. I'm like, fine, I can understand. But I just need one person to believe in me, to give me the opportunity.
So that's what I also always say to my clients. The market is a market. The job opportunities are the job opportunities. But at the end of the day, you just need one.
I know.
Just one opportunity. And that one opportunity, if you really put your best self forward, is out there. And you are, yet again, a great...
Going through so many unsuccessful days to find your life partner.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know which one is more
We forgot a long time ago, but you're right.
Like the same journey. So I'm like, oh, great, thank you for your advice. And I sent her a thank you email by saying I've already signed up a event by the end of this month with Change Management Institute, and I'll also sign up the ProSci Change Management course, which I'm going to finish over the next 2 weeks. Basically, keep her posted and show my commitment to move into the industry. And I think 2 days later, I got an email from her. She's like, well, Shirley, I'd like you to be in touch with my project director in Melbourne. And we might have something for you. I'm like, wow. Wow.
Amazing.
I can't believe that. I can't believe it's happening so fast, because literally the week before that, I was feeling like you're lost and unmotivated and feeling like I've already tried the best I can, but whether I can find this person which give me the opportunity or whether the opportunity can present itself in the market, that's out of my control.
That's
but like before I realized it was here, I have to say I'm really lucky to have this process so fast-tracked, and I definitely appreciate the trust and support from Change the Work, whether it's the MD, the project team, because they were working on...
Do you want to share her name? That's an outstanding leader who just gave somebody who is not a traditional candidate a really, really good shot. I just honor that so much from her. And as I said beforehand, it takes a business owner to acknowledge everything you bring as an ex-business owner. You don't have to, but I just thought she sounds amazing.
So the managing director for Change Work Consulting's name is Melinda Waters. So she's got very rich experiences in the change management field and is a very well-respected leader in that field. Fantastic. And she put me in touch with Cindy Wong, which is the project director looking after their Melbourne projects. So Cindy gave me a call later to understand my background and mention that they are currently working on a project with university in Melbourne,
Oh,
which
wow.
is
Look
similar
at
to
this.
my
All comes
background.
together.
And I also told her that I used to work with Melbourne University
You
as a
did, I
tutor, as a
remember.
mentor, as an alumni, and also I used to develop a career coaching program for their students
For
during
them.
COVID. Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm definitely interested in the role. So they're like, so we will talk to our clients about you. We've been working on this project for a few weeks now, and since it's a relatively short project, we need someone for the next 3 months to help out with the project team to deliver. I'm really excited about it. Let me know if there's anything that I need to prepare. And there was a conversation that I had last week and 2 days ago. So this Tuesday, I got a call from the HR manager, Steph. She's like, Shirley, I've got some good news for you. They're really impressed by
They
your
love
profile.
you
They want you
already.
to start 28 straight after you finished your change management course. I'm like, really?
Of course I do. You're amazing and you will be so great. So, but I am so excited for you. I just want to congratulate you how quickly you navigated through this from absolute, you call it a life crisis, the second life crisis, to thriving and getting offered the job, not only a job, the job you wanted in the environment you really love and thrive in.
Yeah.
Congratulations, well done again. And that just shows if you really, really let go, if you drop, if you stop, if you reflect, and then act consciously, dreams can come true. Of course, you do have to do the work, but it's not only the external work, which you started straight away.
Yeah.
It's more even and more potent is the inner work, which you also bravely have been embarking on. Really embracing your emotions, working through everything that happened throughout the past 10 years, and then getting actually as a new, more evolved leader out on the other end. That's really brilliant. I'd love to quickly, before we close this podcast season, with a couple of nuggets of wisdom which I collected along the way from you, with one aspect which I think also a lot of Gaia coaching clients have a problem with and still try to master is work-life balance. And you said it was more work-life integration, but actually it was just more work. And then life happened when there was a breather at the end. So I saw your success plan and it made me really happy because you took it really seriously and it was really, really balanced. It was not only the career goals were on there and they were clearly defined, and congratulations, you have hit them for the first quarter already, and your 90-day game plan. And I know how focused you are in executing plans once they are established and agreed. But there was also a nice balance of really looking after family needs and wishes, looking after yourself, putting the mask on your face first before you give to anyone else. Was this helpful for you? What was your experience with the success plan and the 90-day game plan?
I think that definitely gives me the structure to look to my life from different aspects and hold me accountable for committing to those changes. It took 21 days to form a new habit. And sometimes you can feel a bit lazy or you just not feel motivated to do anything. And I think to have those goals out there keep me grounded, and also reminds me that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to hit it every time. But as long as I'm continually improving in that space, because one of my goals is to go to the gym at least 3 times a week, but sometimes it's cold and raining outside, and I feel guilty after it because on top of the cancellation fee from the gym, I also let myself down. But I'm like, it's fine. As long as I can.
Welcome. You're a human. It's fine.
Once a week is better than nothing.
That's right. That's right.
And,
beautiful.
Also, I also start to make one day every month to be a family day when I talk to my husband about our family finance and how we make sure that we keep the spending on the budget so that we can build up our savings again, and also to plan out what are the quality time that we can spend during weekends. He needs to come up with some date ideas. I need to look up on whether there's any event we want to go together. So we don't just go with the flow and expect things just to happen naturally. We treat that as a project itself to enhance our relationship and to build a better family by make sure that those fundamental behaviors and the alignment of our values and how we think this family as a team should move forward. I think that's also very important because we all got busy and most guys are not so good at expressing their feelings and their needs. Half of the time they're now, I'm so hungry, what's for dinner tonight? So
how wonderful.
That helps.
I have a couple of quick rapid reflection questions for you. Just if you could just whatever comes to your mind. What is your most important daily or weekly or monthly routine to stay authentically you?
I think journaling really helps.
Journaling is your favorite one?
You being recommended me to journaling a lot. At the start, I don't even have a diary, but now I do journal. I actually brought my journal here, so I took a lot of the notes. You can see it's all filling with my scribbles. I actually write 4,000 words of journal yesterday just to catch up on the last 3 months since I need to prepare for a podcast interview. But I find that's really helpful. It helps me to understand my feeling, understand my journey, how I came out of some of the difficulties, and also allowed me to have a better relationship with myself, to verbalize this internal dialogue. And once it's there, I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I can always go back and do a check-in whether I've been proceeding to the way that I expected.
Amazing. I couldn't agree more. Journaling is definitely underestimated and so powerful. So, wow, that's fascinating. Now, what leadership myths do you wish more people would challenge or know about?
That's a really good one. I've been thinking about this question. What I discovered about leadership during my entrepreneurship journey, I think it's about have the courage to be vulnerable in front of your team. Because I used to carry this thought about a great leader, typically like, a Caucasian male, which is buff and wear three-piece suits, kind of figure. But in reality is I can never be that. And I probably don't have to be like that. I'm generally more nurturing and empathetic with people. And there are times when my teams were stressed and ask me Shirley, what shall we do? I'm like, leave that with me. I'll get back to you in the meeting tomorrow. And the reality is when I went back home, I was lying on bed, staring at the mirror, asking myself, what should I do? So when my business was going through a bit of a crisis last year, this time when we struggled with cash flow, I actually took the leap of faith and called in a team meeting. I'm like, so this is the situation. As much as I tried my best to keep the business rolling, if we don't turn the sales around by the end of the month, then there'll be a huge risk to the sustainability of our organization. And I won't be able to do it by myself. I've been trying to solve your problem, think for you and how you do your job this whole time, but my time experience are all limited. And you know better how to do your job. That's why I hired you. So I like to get the whole team involved to talk about how we can address those 3 key issues to make Infinity great again. So that was very scary. The night before when I thought about that, because I was worried, what if people just resign on the day, start looking for other jobs, or have a bit of an emotional breakdown since they're potentially going to lose their job. But the reality is, and that really joined everyone together.
Beautiful.
Because people can tell that I'm stressed, even they don't know what happened. Sometimes I think I've hid it very well, but I didn't. So instead of having them to worry about, is there something going on? What's wrong with Shirley? I'd rather just let them know this is what happened. And but not in a way that I'm blaming them for anything or showing that I'm helpless or anxious. It's more about, so here's a problem in this together. And I trust you and your capability well enough to believe that we can work things out as a team.
Amazing. Yeah. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much. Very, very helpful. So I just took a couple of notes here when you were talking. So first of all, I really want to thank you, Shirley, for taking the time to be with us today here. I appreciate it. I took a lot of wisdom of nuggets from you, or nuggets of wisdom, but I can't share all of them. That would take a long time because you shared so many good insights. But I think a couple of ones which I really, really believe needs to be heard more often is you helped so many other people, but you forgot to help yourself. The analogy, and this is true for so many leaders. So the analogy I'd like to share here with anyone who is listening is really make an effort to put the mask on your face first. They encourage us on the aeroplane and then start helping others. So really, really important. As a business owners, and I couldn't agree more, I always say this is the one training course you can't buy. It is priceless in regards to the learnings. It is priceless how many roles you have to take on at the same time. If you want to or if you don't want to. I remember I wasn't the best salesperson when I started. Still wouldn't call myself a salesperson, but I'm just calling it sharing instead of selling. There's nobody else to blame. You have to take full responsibility for everything that is happening within your organization. And as much as this is really, really demanding, it's also liberating because you can work through any of your own limitations. And you did so beautifully and successfully. You talked about the things where a lot of people still a little bit of smile at: meditation, breath work, going to the gym. All of these are really, really important and physical activities one can do to stay grounded and stay in balance. I love that you reconnected with your creativity, that you went to the museum, that you connected with the music on your ears while walking through the streets of Melbourne, and that you remembered that you were drawing when you were a child before your parents did send you on the path which they truly believe would be the best for you. But sometimes they forget that we are not them and that we have to shape our own path ourselves. Love your insight and awareness around your INFJ, that yes, you use your logic, you think things through, but at the end of the day, you're trusting your gut feeling. Again, an insight that a lot of leaders forget, or we train out of them in the corporate world. But if you get to a certain level of seniority in any business, but especially in the corporate world, it is not black and white anymore. If it would be black and white, we would possibly automate it. But there are a million shades of gray at that level. So your instinct, your authenticity within your gut, your internal decision maker, you're guided by your intrinsic decision makers, your values are really, really important to connect to. So you beautifully pointed that out. And there are so many other nuggets of wisdom you shared. So I thank you from the bottom of your heart. All these insights really, really shine a great light of what conscious leadership really means. And just want to say thank you so much, Shirley, for joining me today. I really, really appreciate you. I wish you nothing less than the absolute best for your next exciting journey ahead. The change consultants journey, which I know you will excel at, and they are so lucky to have you. I think you are in extremely good hands with this amazing female CEO or founder you mentioned beforehand. It is an exciting journey ahead. Change is inevitable, and we all need to remember conscious leadership is not about doing more. It is about becoming who we really meant to be.
And last thing that I want to share quickly is for people who feel like they're probably a bit stuck and they don't have the motivation to do anything, especially change. I think it's always helpful to start with something really small, because when you are feeling like a bit paralyzed or even slightly depressed, to wake up on time itself is a challenge. So I think for me, the tipping point is when I start to read again and be really focused on reading for a long time, like that book I mentioned, How You Measure Your Life. It's been sitting on my bookshelf for the last 10 years. I got a really good friend during my quarter
You always see it, right?
life crisis. God knows I didn't really complete that book until I hit my midlife crisis. So the other day when I saw that book on my bookshelf, I'm like, I think I need this book. But ever since I was young, I only read when I have to, which means I could never finish a book unless it's a textbook. That's kind of become a limiting belief. I thought I'm probably having some disability of study, because somehow, because it's been so many years, it just feels so hard for me. And that's not a very thick book. It's about 100 pages with big font, which is great for me. So I managed to finish that book in 3 days, which I feel really happy about myself.
And accomplished and fulfilled.
Yeah, for one, it's a really helpful book with a lot of wisdom and answered exactly the questions in my head. And secondly, because I conquered my fear, I did something that I thought I couldn't. I think that itself is really empowering. Well, I don't know what that is for other people. It might be like going to the gym. It might be stand up on the stage to do a presentation. Or it might be like finish a book or finish those 20 books that you bought and never opened for more than 5 pages. I still got a lot of them. So I think that a small milestone behavior really give you the sense of control, that I can make change, that I'm taking the driving force of my life again. And after you build that momentum, you got that confidence in yourself in order to do something that you thought you couldn't, things start to become easier. And I'm lucky enough to also have your guidance and talk to you around the same time, which gave me the clarity, the motivation. And a good supporting network is also very important during the career transition, because you just need someone that you trust, you look up to tell you that, Shirley, you can do it. You are still on the right track. I believe in you. And it's just a matter of time. It's a journey. And you don't have to try that hard to perform, because you are already a whole, you are already complete, even if you are not performing. I think that I can probably read from a book and tell myself 100 times a day, but it's just
hearing that from somebody else,
more convincing and powerful when it's come to someone that you trust and you look up to. So thank you. And for those of you who have completed the course, definitely have a chat with Suzanne. It just makes so much more sense.
Thank you so much for your kind words and feedback. Really appreciate it. And that concludes our podcast today. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the Conscious Leadership Journey podcast, a space for real stories, conscious growth, and authentic leadership. Stay tuned for more.